You know, a lot of us, including Paul and I, we do leaders advances. We do leaders stuff. We'll do a training, an all-day training. We'll teach for 2 or 3 hours, and then we'll have questions and answers. Inevitably, there'll be 100 pastors in the room, 100 leaders in the room, and we'll teach stuff, and some of it should be new, and we'll say, who has a question? For the first 10 minutes, nobody will raise their hand. Almost always, nobody. As if we were all born with all knowledge. And I look around, and I say this almost every time. I say, you know, what's the crazy thing is you guys are supposed to be leaders, and you're afraid to acknowledge to other people that there's stuff you don't know. So you don't want to raise your hand because you don't want anybody to know that you don't actually know the answer to the question you have. And I don't know how you live in fear and have a relationship with anybody because you're not even willing to be transparent among 100 men that you spent 3 days with that you actually don't know the answer to something. And I don't know why, but to me, and then of course everyone raised their hand, oh, I got a question. Me too, I got a question. It seems like that so mirrors our relationship with God. I don't know what it is about prayer sometimes, but instead of coming to God and going, I got some issues, I'm really hurting. I don't know if this is my fault. I assume it's not your fault because, I saw Job. You and him had a conversation, so I'm like assuming it's probably not your fault. But here's the truth. It doesn't feel like my fault. I feel like I did everything right, but things are going wrong, and I'm really confused, and I don't actually like this, and I don't actually know why you haven't intervened. And I'm really coming with a humble heart saying, I actually don't know why you didn't intervene. And I'm having an honest conversation with God, and I'm saying, I'm letting you use your all-knowingness now. I'm opening my heart, and I'm saying, use your all-knowingness in me. Know my heart. David said it this way, know my heart and search my ways. If you see anything wicked in there, go ahead and take it out. I just realized that God actually needs permission to do that because he relegates his all-knowingness to my will when it comes to my life. And God goes, I would love to know you, but I'm waiting for you to invite me in so I can see what's happening inside of you. And I'd like to suggest to you that most of us are starving for God to know us, and we're also terrified of what he's going to see when he gets inside. But what I love about God, and he's the only person who does this, is that when God sees something in me and he corrects me, let's say he sees impatience in me. When God says, Kris, I need you to be patient, at the moment he says, be patient, he creates. God doesn't just counsel. When God counsels, he creates. He releases the ability to do what I couldn't do 1 second before he talked to me because God can't talk without creating. And the challenge is that we're afraid that God's going to see something deficient in us. And so we're like, okay, I'll show you this part. And God goes, you know what? If you would open up your heart and will for me to know you, the things you were afraid of, the things that bother you, the things that trouble you, that you try to hide behind creation, you try to hide behind good works and things you do, you try to hide behind these things. And I'm like, if you'll just open your heart and let me speak into it, even the things that you see in there that you don't like, and you don't think I'll like either, if you let me speak to those things, I will take chaos. The earth was formless and void. The word's chaos. I will take chaos and I will say, let there be light. And guess what will happen in your heart? I will separate the light from the darkness. And the things that you fear that I'll find, I'll actually recreate in you. And you won't struggle with sin because you allowed me to come in. And wherever I go, holiness follows.